The best communities are communities that care about each other. Do unto others is often called the Golden Rule, which references a well-known passage from the Bible in Matthew 7. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets. It's an idea that's been around for a very long time. Let's meet some people whose vocation is doing unto others today on Hometown. So many of us slog through every single day feeling like we're on a never-ending treadmill. Get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. Payday arrives, pay the bills, rinse and repeat. Doesn't take long before it all feels purposeless and mundane. And it definitely can be. Studies have found that finding a personal mission that serves others provides us with purpose and energy and makes the monotonous parts of our lives more meaningful. Today we'll meet two people for whom service and doing unto others are their passions, neighbors who make a life-changing impact on others and have discovered that serving improves their lives as well. Let's meet Mary and David, two people with a passion for making a difference, an essential ingredient in the remarkable story of us.
Mary Murphy, your love and your passion for horses has turned into what?
Blue Mountain Therapeutic Riding.
It's awesome. So tell us a little bit about it and all the great programs that you have here in Walla Walla.
My husband and I co-founded Blue Mountain Therapeutic Riding in 2013 on our farm in Loudon, and we have moved, this is our 5th location since then. We offer adaptive riding for children and adults with disabilities. We offer a psychotherapy incorporating horses program with a mental health counselor who comes to us from Anchor Point Counseling. And we offer a program with our miniature horses called Reading with Buttons and Coco. It's an equine assisted literacy program.
That's fun. I love the title of that.
Yes. And then we also have Thrive Horsemanship, a place to belong for children in the foster care system. We have a trip to the veterans home with the miniature horses called Pony Express. And last but certainly not least is our 6-week all abilities inclusive horsemanship summer camp that we do this will be our 4th summer.
Wow. And you have all of that going on here. I think
Yes.
it's fantastic. Well, let's talk a little bit about the therapeutic side so we know that animals bring out, it's just like a baby. When a baby shows up, everybody's voice goes up and everybody's all excited.
Yep.
But with animals, kind of the same thing. So
Yeah.
what do the horses give and provide to people who need what kind of therapy? Because you have kids here with what? Autism?
Yep. Autism, Down syndrome. By far the majority of our riders are on the autism spectrum, but we also serve people with ADHD, cerebral palsy, and the list, other developmental delays, other chromosome abnormalities, and the list goes on. So, yeah.
Well, I think what you're doing is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. So to have your, like we said, your love for horses, because you have grown up with horses, right?
Yes. Yes.
How old were you when you had your first horse?
So my parents owned a horse when I was a toddler. I'm not sure exactly how old she was, but so I have pictures of me riding when I was probably 18 months with my brother.
Isn't that neat?
Yes. And then my mom always made sure that we had access to horses when we were growing up. And so, yeah, that's love for horses started very young. And yeah, it hasn't stopped yet.
So this way to give back and to help and do unto others, what is it like for you to see all the ripple effect of your programs and people getting involved? And what is it like for you personally to see this?
It really it's a pure joy for me. Makes me, happy to get up as a retiree every day. It's like I'm retired from my day job, but this is so much fun. Spending time with the horses and the people, the volunteers that we have recruited. We trained over 100 volunteers last year.
Wow.
That came out, and that is not counting the one-day volunteers who came from with Walla Walla University Service Day. So they brought 20 some people. That's not counting those. That's just people who are interested in being involved with our programs. And so the support of the people that come to help us do this, I mean, it's like I said, pure joy. I get to spend time with horses and people, and I love it.
Oh, I think it's fantastic. So give us a little bit of when you have someone who, say a child who has Down syndrome,
right?
When they then come and have the opportunity to ride a horse, what's it like for them?
So what the benefits that they receive are they get to practice their speech if they have trouble with speech. They get to bond with the horse, another animal. They get to bond with people that support them. So every rider has up to 3 volunteers helping in the arena during their lessons. So
they're kind of the helicopter.
Yeah, exactly.
Horse people
this
support.
little unit that's moving around together. They have a horse leader and up to 2 sidewalkers. It totally depends on their abilities, but the leader is helping to make sure that the horse is responding appropriately to the person with the disability, their cues. And so when they say, whoa, even if they don't pull back on the reins to stop, the horse will stop. Aww. And that gives them an amazing amount of confidence to know that, it feels to them like they are totally doing it by themselves. And in fact, I have this fun story I like to tell about one of our riders, Matthew. His mom would be happy for me to share this. He needed 3 volunteers supporting him, a horse leader and 2 sidewalkers. Then in addition to those 3, I was the instructor for his lesson. And he would be going around the arena doing what I asked him to do. And then we would go by the area where his mom was standing watching, and he would wave at, stop and wave, "Mom, look, I'm doing it all by myself." Oh. And so the amount of confidence that he got from riding is immeasurable, really.
And in another scenario, he probably wouldn't have had that. But in this situation with the horses and all of that, I think it's great.
Plus, it was he has siblings, and so this is something that only Matthew gets to do. So his other siblings are going to swimming lessons and riding their bikes and doing other things that Matthew couldn't necessarily participate in. This is something that was special for Matthew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. So you have that aspect, and then all of the other programs that you have, and people can go to your website to find out more information about that. And what is your website?
It's Blue Mountain Therapeutic Riding. It's all spelled out. .org.
Okay, perfect. We'll have that up as well. But what about the mental health aspect? You mentioned you have some counselors who come. So talk about that a little bit.
So in March of 2023, we partnered with Anchor Point Counseling, and they send their counselor, Courtney Needham, out to see clients here. They do talk therapy, the same that kind of talk therapy that she would do in her office, but we provide the facility, horses, and an equine specialist in mental health that's certified through the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship. And so Courtney, the horse or horses, and the equine specialist work together to provide the therapy session for the clients who come.
So that is kind of the scenario if, for example, if you have a teenager, you might not be able to have this interaction of, what's going on at school, but you get them in the store and go shopping, and you're both looking outside, and you can talk about things that you might not be able. Is that the scenario?
Absolutely. And, it's very private what they do, but I hear stories about what happens. And from what I understand, that Courtney, sees the same clients in her office for part of the year when we're not open out here. When they come here, they open up.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a totally different environment.
Yes.
So speak about that. So you're closed in the wintertime.
Yes.
And open obviously spring, summer, and fall.
That's right.
And then you close about what month?
We close, the mental health program closes a little bit later than the adaptive riding. They close late October, early November, kind of depending on the weather. And they start in early March. They start earlier and go later.
Yeah.
And then the adaptive riding program starts mid-April and goes to early June for the spring session, and then June to mid-July for the summer session, and then fall starts early September to mid-October.
Okay. Well, as someone who's got something unique going on the outside, I love it that you are having these programs and things available. So let's go outside. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
And we're here in what? What do you refer to this?
Like we call this the mental health and learning building. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's go out and actually see the horses, Mary.
Okay, sounds great.
So say, for example, there is a rider who comes who's autistic.
Right.
And part of the program to introduce the say a 10-year-old.
Right.
10-year-old boy. So you come in, what is the first thing that you would do when this young man would show up?
So if we're doing adaptive riding, which is what we've been doing the longest, we would have volunteers arrive 45 minutes before the lesson. They would get the horses out, get them groomed, get them saddled, bring them down to the arena, get them warmed up. And so when the person with a disability arrived, we would meet them at the gate at the opposite end of the arena. We would invite them in, make sure they had their helmet on and it was fitted properly, make sure they had closed-toed shoes and they hadn't shown up in sandals that day.
Boots.
Yeah, we don't require boots because we have safety stirrups on all our saddles.
Okay.
So, yeah, good to know. And then I would allow him to say hi to his horse, and then we would just get right up onto the mounting block and get into the saddle and get started on the lesson.
And then he would have the people around him.
That's right. He would have the support that he needed. So a horse leader and up to 2 sidewalkers, again, depending on his ability. So all of that would be decided. Like if it was his first day, that would all be decided beforehand.
Okay.
And so once he got up on the horse, we'd make sure that we got his stirrups adjusted properly. I would show him how to hold the reins and give him the cues to give the horse to walk on and stop.
Sure.
And then we'd start on his first, what we call chat laps. So at the beginning and end of every lesson, we have an opportunity for the riders to connect with their volunteers, and we call them chat laps. And sometimes I will give them a topic of conversation. Sometimes I just let them talk about whatever. But it's just a time that is, we're just taking a walk on our horse, and we're talking to our people who are supporting us, and it's a relaxing, fun time.
What happens when that 30 minutes is over? Is there, I want to stay on the horse longer?
We do have some that are ready to get off, and we also have some that every single time when it's time to get down, I'll ask them, are you ready to get down? No. And they laugh, and we get down anyway.
You mentioned a very, very important word.
Yes.
Is ability.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So while we are going through the diagnosis and the issues that each client may have when they come here, we want to make sure that we can provide services safely and not cause harm in any way. And so once that decision has been finalized, they come here. We don't talk about their disability. All we do is, focus on their abilities and teach them new skills.
What is something that you would like someone to know about what you do here at Blue Mountain Therapeutic Riding?
We are an inclusive program. We love people and horses, and we love to have people come out and help us and spend time with these lovely horses.
Well, thank you, Mary. Thanks for being on Hometown.
Yeah.
David, great to be talking with you today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know that you love humanitarian work.
Yeah.
Where did this get started, engaging with the community? And was this like something from childhood?
Yeah, it definitely was. I got to hear firsthand the stories international missions, what it's like to live in these other countries and to see the needs firsthand. And at a very young age, I was able to go down to Guatemala with my grandparents on a school bus full of full of stuff that was to be donated to some schools down there, and quite an experience to be able to see that firsthand and be able to be needed, but also to be able to experience a new way of doing life. You know, my kids are always I'm trying to get them out there as well, and exposed to some of the stuff, and they're like, that's so weird. I was like, no, it's not weird, it's different.
Yes.
And I think different is what helps us grow. Different is what helps us really make a unique community and truly stronger together because of those differences.
Sure. So you just got this passion really early.
Very simple.
And I know you've spent part of your career actually working internationally.
Yes. Yeah. I spent 12 years with Maranatha Volunteers International. And what a joy that was to be able to serve in that way, taking volunteers, all these different countries, I think 60 plus countries, 4,000 volunteers a year, just active all the time going. And it was just such a pleasure to be able to do God's work in that way. My kids started getting older, and they said, where are you going? Why are you gone all the time? And so that was the catalyst to look at what could it look like to do service locally.
And it's very interesting because now you're rooted in one location.
Correct.
You're here in the Walla Walla Valley working for the Center for Humanitarian Engagement at Walla Walla University. But there are needs right here.
There are. And, just to tell you how different type of work we were doing is my kid was like, Dad, how many churches do they need in Walla Walla? It's like, well, not just churches. There's many more ways that we can connect and build community. And so, we're doing all sorts of really great hands-on work with lots of community partners, I think 60 plus community partners, to make some big changes happen.
60 community partners.
Yeah, it takes everybody.
It does. Tell us about a couple of big ones, or ones you partner with a lot.
Yeah, so I think that there's, before I go into highlighting a specific nonprofit, I just want to share, sometimes we think we need to do it all. And I think I hear that all the time. Well, as Adventists, we need to have our own Pathfinders. We have to have our own outreach.
Every single
thing. And, I look back in the Bible and I don't see that. What I see is maybe the Good Samaritan story, where he finds somebody that's the best at that. And he says, would you take care of this person?
Yes.
I'll pay you, I'll help, I'll contribute, but you do what you do best. And so I've kind of taken that model with CHE and saying, we're not going to fix everything ourselves. We're not going to do it all alone. We're going to partner with many people as we can.
Yes.
And so when it comes to working in food insecurities, well, Blue Mountain Action Council has it going on. They've got it figured out. They've got it dialed in. So we send volunteers down there and coordinate the Backpack Bridge program together, and many of those other programs that they do to be able to sort and help and distribute food to people that need it. When it comes to homelessness or houselessness, there's so many good partners. The Christian Aid Center is by far one of the easiest ones to work with as far as getting volunteers in there and getting to interact and be able to make a difference. In fact, when I was a student, I was able to interact with them and had quite an experience.
So you already had some familiarity.
Yeah, as a student at Walla Walla University, Pedrito Maynard Reed said, instead of writing a paper, you can have an experience if you'd like, and be homeless for a couple nights and write a story about what that would look like. And so I convinced 3 of my friends to go with me, and we slept in the bushes of Providence Hospital and got found by some cops that took us to the Christian Aid Center. And we made clear, we're like, hey, we're not really homeless, but we're having this experience. Is that okay? Do you have room? Oh, we got room. We'd love to have you. And it turns out that guy who was in charge of the dorm at that time, he had just started that week, thought this was a really cool idea. Now he's the director of the Christian Aid Center. And so we continue to support each other in those endeavors. But there's many others. The United Way. Yeah. We've been able to partner with them.
Huge organization, actually.
Huge organization. Locally, they're doing some really great stuff. Elevate program focuses on the elementary age children. They have a long-term recovery group that we helped start to help after disaster. We had some floods some years ago that we were really active in supporting. But out of necessity, I felt, and I'll use that word not loosely, it really was needed. Some guidance around volunteers here in this valley. We saw a big need, and having my background in Masters in International Development, working in the volunteer sector, I thought this is perfect. Why don't we partner together, United Way? And so we have. a memorandum of understanding where they are helping with the financial pieces towards the software. We're doing the students are in our office organizing thousands of volunteers. We have a database of about 6,000 volunteers here in the Valley.
That's incredible.
It's amazing. And they're getting to hands-on experience, getting the first of those needs coming through our office at Walla University. Students are looking at it and saying, well, maybe they're not just assuming that somebody else is going to do it. They're saying, first off, they're saying, well, maybe this would be a perfect project for biology club. Maybe business club could do this. Maybe engineers could do it. And then if they're not finding a match, they're posting it up on our website to be able to, for anybody to be able to take advantage of those projects.
And there's a big college event coming up pretty soon where all 3 colleges getting together.
So I think that's part of the beauty of it. It's not just us alone trying to do service. It's providing those opportunities for people that are looking for ways to make a huge difference. And we've done this event now for years, and it's growing bigger and bigger because we've been involving community members in that. So our signature
it's not
project,
just the 3 colleges here in
we
town.
call it our Tri-College Community Day.
Okay.
It's on Sundays in the afternoons to try to hopefully even get those students who just woke up and like, what am I going to do this afternoon? Get them engaged. But yeah, Sundays afternoon, and we go out. We have 17 projects slated right now.
Yes.
Where they're going to go out to the Blue Mountain Therapeutic Riding. They're going to go out to the cemeteries. They're going to go out to different places and really get engaged in our community. So,
what a great event! So, what keeps you the most excited about working with humanitarian engagement?
Oh, seeing students and seeing volunteers' lives be changed. Once they get it, and they're hooked. There's like, what's next thing going on? What can I do? And it's like, well, it's not just an event. It's really a lifestyle that at that time, it becomes a habit. It becomes who you are.
Yes.
It becomes an identity of you as a person, caring about other people.
Yes.
And I think that's what God's called us to be Christians, to be called to not just follow him, but to reflect him and to love those around us. And so it's a beautiful thing. When somebody gets it, that's what gets me excited. And I just invite anybody to participate wherever you are. It's going to be outside of your comfort zone the first time. It is.
Yes.
It's not always easy. We took 17 students up to Everson this weekend, and we slept on the floors in the church, and we were able to go door to door doing some surveys. We did a big meal for the community. It was really fun. In fact, one of the students, after I asked, how did this go for you? He said, David, I felt like I was at home. I was like, what do you mean? We slept on the floor, and we like, don't you have a bed at home? I was like, no. They just made me feel welcome. And I think it comes both ways. It's not just something that you're going to go and give. You're going to receive so much. And so, anyhow, invite anybody to participate. You're not too old, not too young. We can find a place for you. There's a lot of different ways to give back.
That's great. Thank you. Very inspiring. Really appreciate you taking some time to chat.
Thank you.
Well, hello. Yes, I'm making another video outside. Shocker, it's really hard to believe. But I'm doing this for a very specific reason, because I've been thinking a lot lately about mental health. You know, there's a mental health crisis going on in our country and throughout the world right now. And we could all have a conversation about why that's happening. But no matter why it's happening, the reality is it's happening and people need help. You know, one of the reasons why I agreed to join Blue Mountain Television and to start making these videos is because they agreed to have me make a bunch of these videos outside. And I love the outdoors. The outdoors is the number one thing that helps me with my mental health, with my mental clarity. I get outside a lot. In fact, last year I walked 1,200 miles. I walked and ran 1,200 miles. I read online that nearly 58 million Americans dealt with some type of mental health crisis in 2021. And I'm sure that that's just continuing to go up, unfortunately, in our world. But I'm here to tell you, if you are struggling with some type of mental illness, if you're feeling like you just can't go another step, there is an answer, and that answer is getting outside. Get outside in nature. It's a great place to think. It's a great place to pray. Getting outside into the fresh air and moving your body is amazing. It will literally change your life. And you know, if you're looking for some type of community, people to talk to, you know, there are so many individuals out there who can relate to what you're going through. And you should find those individuals and you should talk to those individuals. There are a number of nonprofit organizations and people just in our area who want to help if you are struggling with something like this. You are not alone in this. There's a lot of people out there who have been through what you're going through. And if you go and you find those people, they are wanting to hear your story and they want to help. They want to see you get better. Lastly, if you're really struggling and you can't get out of the house, you can't go and talk to some local person and you need to call somebody, you can call 988. It's the suicide and crisis hotline. Call them, talk to somebody there. There are people out there that want to help. So thanks so much for watching this video. It has been a very windy day, so I do hope that the audio in this video has been nice, and thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time right here on Hometown. Bye-bye.
We all change when we think beyond ourselves and our needs and look to lift our fellow citizens. We all get better. What we contribute doesn't have to be big and earth-shattering. It doesn't even have to be visible. We just have to get outside our heads and look around to find how we can contribute. The late actor Matthew Perry once said his 6 favorite words in recovery were: trust God, clean house, help others. Do unto others. Such simple words have such a big impact. I think I'm going to start by signing up for Tri-College Community Day. I'll see you next week on our next episode of Hometown.